This is part 3 on a video about integrating quotes into literary analysis. So if you haven't seen the first 2 parts, go back and see them. This is the second method of integration called full statement integration. And this one has fewer parts than the blended one. It seems a little more sophisticated, but it might actually be easier to write. So the idea behind a full statement integration is just to write a full sentence to provide the context of the quote. And then instead of putting a period, use a colon between the integration and the quotation. A colon in English class is kind of like an equals sign. So the thing that happens before the colon, there's something on the other side of that it equates to. So in a way, you can almost summarize the quote or put it in your own words before the quotation, and then the quotation itself can speak for itself. If there's a character speaking in the quote, making that character the subject of your sentence could be an easy way to name the speaker. So that would be a good idea. Here are a couple examples for the first of our 2 samples. Now this one is not a character who's speaking. So the first one is more of just a general statement of what's going on. Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh share a meaningful moment together in the final chapter. That's a full sentence. But since that is equal to what's going to come in the red type, I use a colon between them. The second sentence kind of uses the idea of the character speaking, except this one's the author. So I use that as a subject of my sentence. A. Milne ends his novel with a serene scene between Christopher Robin and Pooh. Then what's in the red type makes sense. So it's just a full idea. That's the context for the quote, colon, and then the quote. So here is one for you to try. This is the purple sentence, Pooh, promise you won't forget about me ever, not even when I'm 100. So think about what's the situation, and if there is a speaker, if there's a character speaking, try to put that as the subject of your sentence. Take a second and pause the video and try one yourself. So my example, the one example that works pretty well is the first one. Christopher Robin makes a final request of Pooh. Hold on one second, but that is what happens in the purple quote. He is making the request, right? The request is that he promises to make Pooh promise that he would not forget about him. Now, sometimes what's going to happen is you'll have too much context and you'll just sort of run out of room, or it'll be too long of a sentence if you were to put a colon there. So underneath that line in the little blue box is what you do when you have too much context. Christopher Robin wants to remain a child with Winnie the Pooh, but he knows it's time to grow up. I don't want to put a colon after that because I didn't really say yet that he's the one who's talking, that Christopher Robin's talking. So I'm just going to put a period there and then just do a quick little speaker tag right before it. So it's just a little too weighty on the context part. So I just do a quick speaker tag afterwards in a new sentence and then move in. So if you find that it's getting too heavy for that full statement integration, go ahead and put a period there. Just use a quick speaker tag and then you're off.
We're going to walk. I did rough mine, and I did for the second time. It was upstairs. It was Julius, and Julius not listening to mommy because she was trying